There is so much bad information about motorcycle fuel floating around that riders confidently repeat it to each other every single day. At gas stations, in parking lots, in online forums, passed from rider to rider like it's established fact. And some of it is actively damaging engines right now. Today we're killing 5 of the most persistent fuel myths in motorcycling. Myth number 2 has probably already cost you money without you realizing it. And myth number 4, this one genuinely surprises experienced riders when they hear the truth. Stay until the end, because myth number 5 is the one that could be quietly shortening your engine's life every single time you fill up. Let's get into it. Myth 1. Higher octane fuel always makes your engine more powerful. This is the most widespread fuel myth in all of motorcycling. Walk into any gas station and you'll find riders choosing the premium pump because they believe higher octane means more power, better performance, and a healthier engine. It doesn't, and here's exactly why. Octane rating measures one thing: a fuel's resistance to detonation. Detonation, also called knock or pinging, is when the fuel-air mixture inside your cylinder ignites before the spark plug fires, from pressure and heat alone rather than from the spark. This uncontrolled ignition creates a shock wave inside your cylinder that damages pistons, rings, and bearings over time. High compression engines, engines that squeeze the fuel-air mixture into a very small space before ignition, generate enough heat and pressure during compression to trigger detonation if the fuel ignites too early. These engines need high-octane fuel to resist that early ignition and allow the spark plug to control combustion correctly. Low and medium compression engines, which covers the vast majority of everyday motorcycles, don't generate enough compression heat to trigger detonation in the first place. For these engines, high-octane fuel provides zero additional protection because there's no detonation happening to prevent. It doesn't burn cleaner, it doesn't produce more power, it doesn't protect the engine better. It just costs more. Your owner's manual specifies the minimum octane rating your engine requires. That number is calculated by engineers who know your engine's compression ratio and combustion characteristics precisely. If your manual says 91 octane, running 97 octane gives you nothing except a higher fuel bill every single week. The only time premium fuel makes sense is when your engine's compression ratio genuinely demands it, and your manual will tell you that directly. Everything else is marketing working exactly as intended. Myth 2. You should always fill your tank completely full. This one feels logical. Full tank means maximum range. Maximum range means fewer stops. Fewer stops means convenience. Simple, right? Except a completely full tank on a motorcycle creates a problem that partially full tanks don't, and it's a problem most riders have experienced without connecting it to this habit. Motorcycle fuel tanks have very little room between a full fuel level and the fuel cap. When fuel heats up, from engine heat, from sitting in the sun, from ambient temperature rising through the day, it expands. Fuel that was at the top of the tank when cold has nowhere to go when hot. It seeps out through the breather system, past the fuel cap seal, and in some cases directly onto your engine or exhaust components. Fuel on a hot exhaust pipe is not a theoretical concern. It's a real fire risk that has caused real fires. Beyond the safety issue, overfilling regularly damages your fuel tank breather system and evaporative emissions canister on modern bikes. These components are designed to manage normal fuel vapor, not liquid fuel being forced through them repeatedly. The correct practice is to fill to just below the base of the filler neck. Leave room for thermal expansion. Your range difference is negligible, and the risk you eliminate is not. Myth 3. Letting your bike run on reserve regularly is fine. Reserve exists for emergencies. That's its entire purpose. It's not a second tank, it's not extra range you're entitled to use regularly, and treating it as a normal part of your fuel cycle is damaging your fuel system in a way that's invisible until it suddenly isn't. Here's what's actually at the bottom of your fuel tank: sediment from fuel quality variations, water contamination from condensation that forms inside the tank over time, ethanol water mixture that separates out from the fuel and sinks, varnish particles from fuel degradation. All of it settles to the bottom, exactly where your reserve pickup draws from. Every time you run on reserve, you're pulling this concentrated contamination directly through your fuel system, through your fuel petcock or pump, through your fuel filter, through your carburetor jets or fuel injectors. Over time, the filter clogs faster, the jets partially block, injector spray patterns degrade. None of this happens dramatically, it happens gradually. A slight hesitation here, slightly harder starting there. Fuel consumption that creeps up slowly. Riders attribute these symptoms to everything except the actual cause. Refuel at a quarter tank. Your fuel system draws from the cleaner upper portion of the tank every single fill. Your filter lasts longer, your injectors or carb jets stay cleaner. It costs you nothing except slightly more frequent fuel stops, and it's a habit that riders with high mileage, trouble-free bikes almost universally share. Myth 4. Mixing fuel brands damages your engine. This one genuinely surprises people when they hear the truth, because it sounds so plausible. Different brands, different formulations, different additives, surely mixing them creates some kind of chemical conflict inside your tank. It doesn't, at all. All fuel sold at legitimate gas stations meets standardized specifications set by regulatory bodies. The base fuel, the actual hydrocarbon content that your engine burns, is largely the same regardless of brand. The differences between brands are primarily in the additive packages they mix in. Detergents, corrosion inhibitors, and performance additives. These are all compatible with each other and with your engine. There is no chemical reaction between different brands of fuel. There is no separation, no degradation, no conflict. The fuel in your tank from brand A mixes with fuel from brand B exactly the way the same volume of water from two different bottles mixes, completely and without issue. The only fuel mixing concern that is legitimate is mixing different octane ratings and ending up with a combined rating lower than your engine requires. And even that only matters if your engine requires high octane in the first place. Buy from reputable gas stations with high turnover, because fresh, uncontaminated fuel from any major brand is infinitely better than old, degraded fuel from a single brand you've decided to be loyal to. Myth 5. Ethanol fuel is fine for all motorcycles. And here's the one that could be quietly damaging your engine every single fill-up, depending on what you're riding. Ethanol blended fuel, E10 containing 10% ethanol or higher blends like E15 and E85, is now the default at most gas stations across the country. Most modern fuel-injected motorcycles are designed and approved to run on E10 without issues, but most does not mean all. And for older carbureted bikes, the situation is significantly more complicated. Ethanol is hygroscopic. It absorbs moisture from the air. In a carburetor's float bowl, ethanol-blended fuel sitting unused for even a few days begins absorbing atmospheric moisture and forming an ethanol-water mixture that doesn't burn cleanly and corrodes brass and aluminum components. The jets, the needle seat, the float itself, all are vulnerable to ethanol-related corrosion in ways that pure gasoline simply doesn't cause. Ethanol also degrades rubber components. Fuel lines, float bowl gaskets, and carburetor diaphragms on older bikes were manufactured before ethanol blends became standard. Ethanol attacks these materials, causing swelling, softening, and eventual failure. A fuel line that develops a crack from ethanol degradation is a fuel leak waiting to happen. Beyond carbureted bikes, even some modern motorcycles have manufacturer specifications limiting them to E10 maximum. Running E15 in an engine approved only for E10 voids your warranty and can cause lean running conditions because ethanol contains less energy per liter than pure gasoline, and higher ethanol content without corresponding fuel system adjustment means the engine receives less energy than it's calibrated for. Check your owner's manual for your specific ethanol tolerance. For carbureted bikes being stored or used infrequently, either use ethanol-free fuel where available, or use a fuel stabilizer specifically formulated to counteract ethanol's moisture absorption. This is not optional maintenance. It's the difference between a carburetor that works and one that needs rebuilding. Here's what connects all 5 of these myths. They're all believable. They all sound like they could be true. And that's exactly why they spread, rider to rider, year after year, causing damage that's invisible until it isn't. Premium fuel in the wrong engine wastes money. Overfilling creates fire risk. Running reserve regularly contaminates your fuel system. Brand mixing does nothing, and ethanol in the wrong bike causes corrosion that compounds quietly over time. You now know the truth behind all 5, and the next time someone in a parking lot confidently repeats one of them to you, you'll know exactly what to say. Subscribe for more real knowledge that protects your bike and your wallet. See you in the next one.